Hi guys, we're starting now. It's 2:05. We've already waited for the participants. We'll start now. First of all, I'd like to welcome you all. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this exciting webinar on unleashing the power of digital marketing, the secrets to online profitable business. I am honored to be your host for this insightful event. My name is Ariba Arshid, and I am thrilled to guide you through this transformative journey. Today, we have gathered here to dive deep into the world of digital marketing and explore the strategies that can unlock the full potential of your online business. Through this webinar, we'll be joined by industry experts who will share their valuable knowledge and practical tips to help you thrive in the digital landscape. So let's take a quick look at what we have in store for you today. We will begin by discussing the importance of building a profitable online presence and how digital marketing plays a vital role in achieving your business goals. Our esteemed speakers will share their experiences and strategies that have proven to be successful in the digital world. We have people coming in. 1 second. So yes, let me share my screen with you guys first. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry for the wait. And okay, let's start. Since we are done with our agenda overview and you guys are in the loop as to what is going on, I will start with introduction of our speakers. So yeah, allow me to introduce our esteemed speaker who has a wealth of knowledge and expertise in the digital marketing world. First, we have Tanya Arandia, a renowned communications, PR, and digital marketing specialist. Tanya has over a decade of experience in the industry, working with top brands and delivering exceptional results. Her insights and expertise will provide you with invaluable guidance on building a profitable online presence. And she's worked with quite a few names as Serena Hotels and Hello Magazine. So you guys, I'm sure you guys will gain a lot from her knowledge and experience. So yes, let's start. Over to you, Tanya.
Thank you for that introduction, Nariba, and thank you, Meraki Digital Marketing, for allowing me to share my thoughts and sharing your platform with me. So today we're going to be talking about digital marketing revolution for e-commerce and small businesses. So without further ado, let's start. But first of all, a little icebreaker. Just give me a second. Which emoji best describes your current state of mind? So let me know in the comments box. Let's start with sharing how we're feeling right now. Anyone? Okay. Noreen is happy. Anyone else? Thank you for that hug, Zenat. Thank you for the hearts, Shireen. I like the positive vibes. Adika, why are you so worried? Why so serious? Okay, I guess pretty much good Saturday it is. Um, Next I wanted to ask all of you, which you can share in the comment box. How many of you already have an online business? And if you do, share your business link in the comments box. Oh, that's amazing, Zenat. Okay, I'll have a look at that. Oh, that's amazing. You also started your page right now, Niba. Okay. You can share the link with us. We'll definitely follow you, support you guys. Asma, I just saw your emotions. Are you mad at us for the delay? Sorry if we upset you in any way. Okay, great. So whoever has their small businesses in place, please share your link so we can support you, follow you as well. Saida Sana Gilani, I'm working as an Amazon virtual assistant as well as working on Shopify. Oh, that's amazing. Good on you. Um, so in that case, we want to give you a small, in fact, a big clap. Good on you for getting started, and it's gonna be a very exciting ride for you guys. So let's begin, shall we? So first things first, the webinar outline. The first topic is understanding the business, the e-commerce business landscape, winning business practices to stay ahead of the curve, digital touch points, be seen everywhere, and what is the secret sauce? And then in the end, how important data is, and then we'll give you a conclusion. Sorry about that. Okay, so first things first, we want to give you a very quick data that we drove into about the landscape of online business. So we've gathered that there's 5 billion internet users globally, and that is your potential. Some of them will be your potential customers, and that we understand that these people are basically on their phones, on their laptop, on their gadgets. So there's a possibility that some of them will see your brand. 5.7 trillion US dollars sales worldwide is the business. Look from here. Sorry, hold on a second. So that's quite big. And in Pakistan, they're also making waves. And they're the 47th ranking in the world right now for e-commerce. So that's amazing. 2.64 billion customers to shop online worldwide. And demographically in Pakistan, the e-commerce customers are between 15 to 40 years old, so mainly millennials and Gen Zs. And funny enough, interesting enough, 70% of males in Pakistan use the internet and only 30 are females. But for e-commerce, the gender ratio is equal. So that's an amazing find. Increase online shopping rise for Pakistan are mainly because of the rise of Gen Zs, of course. Then there's the urbanization in Pakistan, and then the population of mid class, and then international influence, and the rise of easy payment solutions, just like Easy Pesa, Jazz Cash, and so forth. So here's some stats that we want to share with you. If you already know the grade, if not, then this is some piece of information for you. Electronics and media is the largest market for e-commerce in Pakistan. That's 34.1%. And second comes in furniture and appliances with 28.8%. And fashion comes in third, which is 20.4%. Food and personal care with 10.6. And then the last segment is toys, hobby, and DIY. So DIY are mainly like, like small businesses that make like personalized mugs, cakes, and all of that, hobbies, gaming, and all of those. And then we also found the top online stores in Pakistan, which might be very useful for you. Number one is Junaid Jamshed, and then second is Gul Ahmed, and then third is Limelight. So they have one thing in common: their lifestyle, and they're affordable, and their website is seamless. So I think a lot of people gravitate towards this in Pakistan. So with such a vast market, how does one go ahead of the curve? There's so many businesses, there's so many businesses that are alike. So how do you get ahead of the curve? And here are some 6 elements to add to your business strategy. So first of all is be where the consumers shop and pay, a target so that you can add this to your strategy. For example, if you are doing a food business, make sure that you are on Food Panda and any of those emerging apps that deals with delivery. Make it seamless for your consumers, be where they are. The old marketing is basically there's a door to door, but now that we are a digital world, there's a lot of apps, there's a lot of emerging services that makes it easy for the client to order things online. Pakistan mein delivery, there's also by Kia to get one delivery to you. If they are on certain platforms like Instagram and so forth, make sure that you are visible there. So that's the first winning practice. And then second is invest in data and analytics to enable flexible and um, great marketing. So investing means that you basically understand how your business is performing, invest in CRM tools, invest in platforms and dashboards for your social media reports and so forth. And also if you have an app or if you're thinking of an app, make sure that you have those in place. And then maintain a laser focus on continuous improvement of your product. Just because you launch your product doesn't mean it's going to stay there and you're going to continue doing as you do. You have to ensure that it is basically still at a high quality, and that's why your customers are going to you or why they want to go to you. And even if your product is performing well, make sure that you still plan ahead and see if there's any room for improvement and see if there is anything that you can give value to the customers. And also, if there's any thing that can make it easy for your consumers, just like updating your app, updating your website, do that so that your customers know that you're paying attention to them and your focus is them. And fourth is prioritize and invest in digital talents. This is very important. People are important. You are one of it. So if you have a small business or if you have a larger one, make sure that you invest in the right people with different sets of skills. If you don't want to hire people and manage them, hire an agency, hire a creative agency or anyone that can look into your website's technicality and so forth, because it will make your life easy and you don't have to juggle with so many things. Trust me, You don't want to be burnt out. And what we want for you is basically to focus on what you're good at. And this itsy bitsy things can drain you out. So make sure that you invest in them. And for the fifth point, rethink the end-to-end supply chain to support the omni-channel growth. So basically, with the shipping and all, see if that is working for you, if that's seamless for your customers, payment terms, and your payment partners, if that's working, because you want them to have a great experience. You don't want to have such a great product, but the whole journey for them is not satisfactory. You will lose clients easily. It takes seconds to lose clients. So make sure that that is seamless for them, and find solutions, and find if there are emerging services that can help you out. So for the sixth point, understand your brand purpose and identify that USP to set you apart from your competitors. So this is very important. If you are doing a business online, you should already know what your purpose is. Don't mimic what your competitor is doing. What they are doing is good for them, but what they might have in store is not what is good for you or your audience, or what your audience wants to see. So have that USB. Always ensure that you have a purpose. Stick to your purpose. Don't copy what others are doing, because uniqueness is what people look for, and they want to make sure that they connect with someone that they believe in. So make sure that that's in place. So if you have all these practices in place, you will be ahead of the curve. So these are some insights that we can give you. And the next topic is what online touch points do you focus on for your brand? So logos and all of your marketing touch points, that's not the only thing that you need to focus on. You also need to focus on other touch points that your customers need to see. So those are create an engaging website. That's very important for e-commerce. You need to have a landing page. If you have social media, then of course you have to take them to a CTA link, so that they can browse faster, especially with platforms that don't have shopping options, just like Instagram. I mean, abroad it's available, shopping is available, but in Pakistan it's not. So everything is manually done. You do it through DM and so forth. So have a web page to take them through your product. If you are still a struggling a startup brand, and you have a small flux of like orders, it's fine, you can manage. But if you want to grow your business long term, you need to invest in website. Optimize your website, SEO, that's very important. Make sure that you have the right keywords. Do that, and make sure that your analytics is in place, and you basically study the behavior of your consumers. Leverage social media. Again, the power of social media is amazing. Old school marketing is dying. Social media is where the dollars are. So make sure that your touch points are on all social media. There's a new branch out of Instagram, which is Threads. How many of you have heard of Threads, and how many of you already joined that? Anyone? Raise your hand. No one? Okay, Tika. So Threads has already launched, and I would highly suggest that all of you also join that. See if there's any potential, even if it's 2%, that's great. Be seen again, be everywhere. And also long term, I know small businesses don't have the budget for an app, but it used to be a luxury, but now it's a necessity for a lot of the e-commerce. because it's seamless, it's faster. Everyone has a phone. No one wants to carry their laptop throughout. So people shop, 80% of people shop through their phones. So creating an app would make it so much easy. And websites can also be a pain sometimes for shoppers to browse it. So for your long-term goal, I would highly suggest that you invest in an app. So sorry about that. And now, what's the secret sauce for e-commerce? This is a question that everybody thinks about. What's the secret sauce? So I would like to ask you guys, what do you think it is it? Okay, great. So now I'll tell you what the secret sauce is. That's right. It's your, if you thought about it, then you are correct. It's your social media content strategy. I mean, you can be anywhere. Sorry, Hadika, you raised a hand. Okay, great. Thanks for that. So if you have social media of your brand, but you have a very weak content strategy, then a lot of people will not connect with you. Or if you are just copying what others are doing, or you don't have a proper plan, you don't have a proper schedule, you don't have a calendar, then that means you are basically heading towards failure. So content strategy is very important. Social media may, if you basically highlight your personality and people click with you, and that is what the magic is. So the power of effective social media content is important to grow your success. Focus on authenticity first of all. When you have a content strategy, nearly 90% consumers say that authenticity is important when deciding which brand they want to purchase something and support. So when they feel like you're trying too hard or you are copying a certain brand, they would be turned off easily. So you will lose that chance. Don't fake that. Even your messaging don't need to sound too uh, too long or too pretentious. Make it raw, make it simple, be you. Because when you're authentic, people can feel it. Share your stories. People love stories, and personalize your brand. So if you respond to someone, make it sound like you're talking to a friend. Don't be too, don't be too professional in that sense, because people want to basically have a very simple conversation, and don't confuse them with difficult words. Create that magic. So be authentic. So that's one strategy you need to add in your content. And human element is so important. Harness the power of that. Connection is so important. When you look into a page on social media that does the online business, right? And if you look at that, and all you see are graphics, and all you see are random sort of like content, you will obviously not want to buy there, because you're like, I don't know what they're selling, and there's no post. Add that to your reels, add that to your story, add in your carousel. So human element is very important. At the same time, use influencers and creators. If you have a tiny budget, use that. Because influencers, when people see that, they would automatically trust you and trust your brand. And also hire an ambassador, or that you can basically retain for 6 months, and your creative will be around that particular ambassador. But if you don't have the budget, we understand. And you don't need to invest in influencers at this point. Be that face. You can be in front of that camera, and you can do that for your brand, and also involve your team. I mean, how fun is it to make a reel or TikTok together with your teammates? And then no one knows your brand more than you do. So start with that. So what is the key takeaway here? Human elements on your content. Also be consistent. ये बहुत बड़ा मसला है. A lot of brands, they're not consistent. They will post throughout one month, and then all of a sudden they're dead. So that puts a lot of people off. Stories, even if you post like a little text, on your stories, if you start with a certain font, stick to that font. Tonality आपका एक होना चाहिए. You should always stick to one tone. If you want to be funky or funny, or you want to sound friendly, approachable, stick to that. एक दिन नहीं है कि don't make your page sound moody. Okay, you're happy one day and the next you're not. So that consistency is very important, because that can increase your revenue as well, because people know you're putting in the effort. You are a brand that is promising. So that's that. Also important for that, keep your designs consistent. Not like you started with reds and then all of a sudden your VIS changes. I know you are a small business, but stick to one design language. Engage with your communication. In addition to consistency, engage with your community. In addition to consistency, it's very important to have community management in your strategy. Because if we don't have that, then you are just posting things, you are just promoting things, but you really don't know who your audience is. So understand your audience. Engaging with them is basically like it's your key to understanding and getting to know them. And also when they message you, respond quickly. A quick response is very important. Either it's in the comments, either it's in the DM, respond to them. Let them know that you see them, let them know that you care. And social listening is a very important factor in content strategy. Listen to what they're saying, see what hashtags are you being tagged on or mentioned. Either it's positive or negative. Look for those, because that can improve your business. And also you can also, like a little trick for engagement, go on a story, do a poll. Do you like this or do you like that? And that's an easy way to understand what your audience wants. And also basically do a competition, do a live session, understand and connect with them. So that's one. Protect your brand in your creativity. You need to protect your brand image. Make sure, again, we've spoken about this earlier, your USP and don't forget your promise, don't forget your purpose, because if you steer out of that, trust me, people will not connect with you. They will just think you are another business that is just trying to be someone, and they're not impressed. So stick to your USP. Make sure that you establish that. Don't copy what your competitor is doing. Find your niche, find your tone, and be unique, because that's what sells. So now I've given you those tips, and I hope that was useful and insightful. Next topic is us establishing content is king, but how do we justify it is, and how do we maintain our edge? The answer is very simple. It's monitor your data. The data is very important. This is because I work in advertising. I don't know how many of you know about Ogilvy, but I work with them. So we work with big brands. Data is the roadmap to us. If we know the data, or what the data is saying, then that is something that we take with us, and we create a strategy, and basically omit those failed, no, we can't say failed, but those not so successful campaigns, because the data said it to us, and create like a bigger plan around that. So monitor, set your KPIs first of all, and then monitor it, assess it effectively. If you don't have big budget and you can't afford a dashboard, just use the insights that you get from social media platforms. Just Facebook, they have an insight section, which is improving um, every day. Instagram also has that, TikTok also has that. But I would suggest that you also have like a dashboard for that. Set track of metrics, and also like understand what metrics you want. If you don't have a team for this, or your team is not an expert in this, hire an agency to do that for you. So that you understand what the data is saying, and you can add that to your strategy, and also understand if your previous strategy worked. Also, very important for data is to analyze it, especially your web analytics. So this will tell you how many people has searched for your brand, what is their behavior, how is your website performing. This can improve your website as well if you find the data for that, and what the analytics is saying. So improving yourself and improving your services, that's the main goal for you. Also, sorry, make make data-driven strategies. Like I mentioned before, once you collect all of the data from your social media strategy, your website, your CRM, take those data, deep dive into it, analyze it, understand what content worked. If that content didn't work, it's, say you have a meme that you posted. Also, that's very important for content. People relate to that. So make sure that once in a while you also add a meme in your content strategy. You basically say, okay, this meme didn't work, but you posted it again, you posted something similar, then that is basically you not doing the work. You're not putting in the work, you're not understanding your data. No one will interact with that. You won't get any reach. So there's no point in doing that for the sake of just publishing. So take the data, understand it, create it, take it, and make sure that that is your key to success and growth. So a conclusion is basically building a successful online business um, by a combination of strategies. It's very important. The only thing that your business will grow is strategy. For every single platform that you will join, if you join Threads, make sure that you have a strategy in place. You have a content strategy in place, and also make it platform specific. TikTok के लिए different strategy होना चाहिए. You can't post the same thing, the same reel to TikTok, because they have a different like audience and tools. Once in a while you can, but not all the time. Strong customer, we also said that customer relationship is important. Make sure that you look after your community. Social listening is very important, it's very effective. And continue to improve your product. Just because you launch it doesn't mean it stops there. And before your client tells you, I have a pain point of this, you should already know, you should already be ahead of them. Understand the online business landscape, keep researching, keep following trends, be relevant. Trends follow karna zaruri hai because you want to be relevant. Defining your strategy with a strong online presence, implement effective marketing strategy. A marketing strategy is also important. The influencer, that's basically your PR. Also invest in that. Position your brand accordingly, and remember, in the end of it, all of the implementation, it needs monitoring. When you don't monitor it, then there's no point of implementing all of the strategies. So that it is for me. And sorry, hold on a second. I leave you with a quote from the great Elon Musk. I think it's possible for ordinary people to be extraordinary. So that's all of you. You can be extraordinary. Elon Musk, he believed in something, and look where he is right now and how powerful he is. So that's just my last words for you. Be extraordinary. Thank you so much. And let's get social. I can be found on Instagram and LinkedIn. These are my handles. If you want to follow me, follow me. I will also follow you back. Let's support each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this wonderful session, Tanya. Really appreciate it, and thank you for your valuable insight and how you've conducted it is truly appreciable. So yes, thanks a lot. And for the next person, we have Sophia Arandia. She is basically an education consultant, an entrepreneur, and a fitness trainer. Sophia has a diverse background in education and entrepreneurship, and she will share her unique perspective on how digital marketing can drive business success. Her passion for education and fitness will inspire you to harness the power of digital marketing in your entrepreneurial journey. So, yes, over to you, Sophia. 1 second.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
First and foremost, Tanya, that was a great presentation. I'm sure everybody would agree that it was very, very helpful and useful. So before I start my presentation, I just want to thank Meraki Digital Marketing for having me today. And in case you guys are wondering, yes, I am related to Tanya, as you can see under my name. So yes. So yeah, first also, thank you everyone for coming today. I know it's a Saturday, but I can see that the people coming online today are very, very dedicated and committed to learn and grow. So I'm going to start my presentation. Can people see my screen? Okay. Girls, so sorry. I struggled with this yesterday as well. Ariba, can you kindly guide me again? I'm so sorry. I've done this so many times, but I seem to struggle with the...
On the top, yes, with in the same line, there's an option of view.
Is it the
Yeah,
slide?
yeah, here, yeah. From here.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so again, Tanya has discussed everything in detail. So my take on this is more different. I am going to explain based on my experience, having launched, still on the startup launch of my own business. So I'm going to start right away there. So I've started this edtech company called Educo. So it's e-commerce and sales. What is it about? It's an edtech company where we provide educational technology, which are future innovative and scalable skills. What does that mean? These courses help you to further push you to where you want to be. Okay, for example, you're already a successful entrepreneur, but you lack skills in, let's say, accounting, or let's say even UI UX. You're not, very aware or do not speak the language of technology, so you can take courses. We also connect students and teachers globally. We have freelance opportunity, we have consultancy, it's a charity as well, and we're currently developing our mobile app. So if you want to check out the business, these are the Instagram handle, or you can follow me at the handle below. Okay, so moving forward, I'll share the screen again later. So today we're going to discuss this in detail. As I mentioned earlier, Tanya's already explained that. We're going to go straight to my experience in developing this edtech. So understanding the online business landscape. Again, everybody wants to start the online business, but you have to know the pros and cons. We're going to go straight to pros. It costs you lesser than, the brick and mortar type of business where you have a physical office, you have a physical shop, etc. And then there's a lot of potential for high scalability, meaning it gives you more profit and growth because everything is online. There's lesser risk and liability as opposed to opening a fully fledged company. And then you have the freedom to work anywhere. You can work from Dubai, you can work from London, you can work from Karachi, you can work anywhere in the whole world or anywhere in the city. And then you have a large client and consumer base, meaning your clients are not just restricted to where you're currently at. You can also connect globally as long as you have a good marketing. And then you can provide customer support because with digital and technology, you can automate your replies. You can automate even a chat GPT to make sure that any customer that comes in, they're taken care of right there, right then. And then also marketing is easy because everything is online. And then there's a job security. I'm sure everybody here that is attending is already an entrepreneur or wishing or working to be an entrepreneur. So we know that everybody is not, everybody is indispensable. Like everybody can get, laid off from work or not. So having your own business gives you that security. But then again, like in anything, everything is not black and white. There's always the disadvantage and advantages. So I find launching Educo, I found personally that website and maintenance can cost a lot of money based on how you want to present yourself. You can have a very cheap website, but if it doesn't translate or it doesn't represent who you are or what your business is supposed to be, you will not reach any clientele at all. So website can be expensive. I'm talking about $1,000 to $2,000 or more. Technical errors can lead to losses. While we were developing our website, our designer made a big mistake, the website designer. So we had to pay website designing twice. So this is part of my experience. So you have to be really, really on point and really be careful with whom you work with. Research them first because their error can cost you double money in terms of, technical error. We say, oh, it can easily be fixed, but actually it isn't. So you have to be very careful about that. Also, there's a lot of competition. I'm sure you guys must have heard of Udemy, Domestika. Again, we're more or less the same, but every person can still give their competition, that run for their money if you have a unique selling point. As Tanya mentioned, USP is very, very important. You have to provide something different out there. The same type of business, but there's always this, the secret sauce. And then the cons also are if you make one client unhappy or into your reputation. So also prolonged delivery can make customers impatient. What does that mean? Let's say I'm on your website and it's having a lot of glitch because the mind can only be interested in 10 seconds. Once 10 seconds is gone and it's still not there, the user, the consumer, or the customer will move ahead forward. Yeah. So it's very, very important to have all these streamlined. And then for your online business, I would advise the focus keys is your business plan. You cannot hire somebody to make your business plan. You personally have to make it yourself, because basically you as the owner is the roadmap of that plan. So you cannot just hire somebody professional to do it for you. You have to make sure that you do it yourself, because then you would exactly know what it is, how to translate it into work, and how it will be translated into reality. And then you have the financial analyze budget. If you have a budget, let's say 10 million or lesser, even, let's say 100,000 rupees for this online business, you have to stick to it. You cannot start a company over the budget, because that's already a loss. Okay, so make sure you stick with the budget. This is why when we say fixed with, you have to have a fixed budget, meaning you do not let go of the important things that you have to do for your business. But you should always have, I always say, option A, B, and C. Every time I talk with agencies or experts or consultants, I always tell them, provide me option A, B, and C, so I can choose based on my budget. And do not be embarrassed to say that to agents or to experts or to consultants, because at the end of the day, you have to make sure you pay them, because you also have to understand you have to respect their time. So you have to make sure that if they deliver, you're able to pay. And then again, hire experts. I have tried to multitask, and I think it's a setback. So I try to do everything, even social media. At the end of the day, I would spend one day to make a content, whereas experts can do it in 15 minutes. So you see, 24 hours and 15 minutes, there's such a big difference. So I always say time is money. If people can do it for you in an hour and it takes you 3 days to do that, pay that expert. And last one is execution versus perfection. What does that mean? So when we were launching the business, me and my business partner, we're so focused in having our website look perfect. So what happens? We suffered a technical loss and we ended up paying twice. So my advice for anybody who's trying to start their online business, make sure you just launch it. Launch it with minimalism. It's better to have that with great quality standard service, as opposed to having such a great website, but then your service is not as great. So you have to make sure that you execute, and perfection, you can do that later. Once you've launched, you can keep perfecting your website, your socials, etc., but focus on providing great service. That's what's important. And we're coming to the second part. I hope the first part made sense to everybody here. And so the power of digital marketing strategies and insight. Like I said, start with a quality web and mobile sites, maintain social media presence, consistent online reputation management campaigns. So again, when I say quality web, I personally focus on how the aesthetic should look like as opposed to its functioning. So make sure, I mean, your website can be less attractive to the eye, but if it works great, there's no lag, or everything is in place and every information is right there and very clear, it works better for you. And then you have to maintain a social media presence, meaning you have to make sure that you're there, because once, social media is now the profile of any business, because, please also remember that our target market is not just, 30s, 40s, 50s. You have a lot of 18 years old. You have a lot of 12, let's say 15 years old to 21, 24, the Gen Z. So social media is the first thing that they click on. Even I, as a, I'm a millennial. I still check social media or Instagram. When somebody tells me, okay, I have a business, I was like, okay, do you have a social media handle? That's the first thing I check. So make sure you have a social media presence handy, professional, and translates your business. And then when we say consistent online reputation management campaigns, you have to have campaigns also that provides inspiration to the community. Like I said, our EdTech platform also provides charity, meaning for the less privileged kids, We give pro bono classes to make sure that they learn life skill courses, which is their future skills that they can carry on moving forward in their life. And then again, don't be scared to remarket. Remarket means things that you have posted digital, or things or content or pieces that marketed your business that worked really well. Let's say 2 months ago, you guys did this, your business did this, and then it worked really well. Don't be scared to, remarket it again. Use the same thing and then remarket again. And then also make sure when, the digital marketing aspect, the customer journey is very, very important, because you're providing them an experience, right? And last one is the essential components, which is you have to really know what is your platform, your market expectation, meaning who are your target markets and how much revenue are you expecting for your business. Again, I always say dream big. Let's say you want to have $1 million by the end of 2 years, go for it. That's how you're going to lead, and that's how you're going to guide, and that's how you're going to tell the agency that you're going to work with, right? And network effects. Let's say I'm going back to my business. We are currently building an app because I've signed an NDA. I can't really discuss what it is. So we hope within 2 to 3 years, we'll be able to have, let's say, 500,000 subscribers paying at $2 per subscription. That should generate us $1 million. Okay, dreaming is for free. You have to dream big, right? And then the fourth one is how to make it a profitable online presence. So these are the few elements that I wrote. Number one is center your brand in your story. Business owners, again, have to make their own business plan because it represents you. And when you exactly know what your business is, who you are as a business owner at the back of your hand, okay, you center that in your story, meaning online presence, your social media, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Instagram, because I noticed that, when as a business owner, if I share something to people, if I share to potential customers or clients, a story about my business, but then when they come on my social media and there's a bit of a conflicted or it doesn't match, then I lose their interest. So you have to make sure you center your brand in your story, ensure customer experience reflects the brand's promise. If we say we will provide you the service within 10 minutes, make sure it actually happens when they go online. Okay, the third one, because I worked in education prior to this. I worked 12 years in education where I worked with at least 200, 300 teachers, right? I always say you can have the best website, best social media, best office, best equipments or asset, but your employees is very, very important. They are your asset. Without your employees, your business is nothing. Your business cannot grow. So you have to make sure that you also protect your employees and start with great self-awareness as well. You also have to look within yourself as the business owner. Am I being fair to my employees? Am I being fair to my clients? Or am I just here focused on generating revenue for the business, right? Also identify with emotion that your brand evokes. Based on Educo, our edtech business, also as an educationist, I know that students or children or adults with learning disabilities and struggles are always left behind, especially in Pakistan. So this is where I invoke emotions in our business because we prioritize, or not even prioritize because everybody is important. We include them. They're inclusive to our platform. We welcome anybody with learning disabilities or learning struggles because that's what our brand evokes. And then differentiate from the competition, and also don't be afraid to use video, to make video for your company, just like Tanya said, because I personally am very awkward in terms of reels or videos and sort of, so I'm trying to learn. Again, you can't be perfect in a day or so you have to make sure that you put yourself out there. I always say you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable. And then you have all of these: poll your customers, be of service. For PIS, conduct brand audits, embody your brand values. And then pick a lane and stay your course. Meaning, if you plan for your business to stay within this lane and have, let's say, 4 products within 6 months, stay within there. Don't go from 6 products and suddenly you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I need to have 10 products. No, that will cause you a setback. Focus on that 6 products, move forward, and then once it's successful, then introduce others. So that's an example I would give. And then the last one, this is our 5th point, data-driven decision-making, impact on businesses. Tanya already explained this. The bullet points are here. I'm just gonna give you an experience of the problems, the troubleshoot areas that we have had launching our Educo business. We did not start with data in the beginning. So we were taking surveys from friends, from people who have the similar business, and trust me, for us to make great decision making, it took us at least 3-4 months to be able to understand what's going on. Whereas if you do have a data software or technology or agency that does that for you, it'll take you an hour. So you'll be able to make your decision making. And when we say data is a king, right? Your monthly goal for your business gets delivered. But if you don't have data, that 1 month goal will not be fulfilled, or it will not succeed, or it will not be done. So what happens is the 50% of your goal that is left in that month will be added on the next month. At the end of the year, your business will fail to complete the rest of the goals that you have for the business. So make sure you actually have a data, you have data analytics, you have data people processing that for you. So you'll be able to make a great decision for your business. Why? Because every minute, every hour, every day, there's always decision to make. So I hope that makes sense. And this is the last one. This is our conclusion. So these are my conclusion based on my observation, my journey in, setting up our business, which is Educo. So know your brand and your unique selling point, your USP. People will tell you, oh, your idea will not work, or your idea is so simple, or your idea is over the top, it's too ambitious. Stick to your USP. If you firmly believe that this is what's going to work and what's going to bring you success, or it's what makes the brand different, stick to it. Because trust me, people will talk you out of it. So stick to your unique selling point. Do not hesitate to ask for help and take feedbacks from friends, acquaintances, or people in the field. I always say, just because I mean, I've set up businesses before. I have launched businesses for other people before. I've done it a couple of times. Just because I've done so, even I went to a struggle to launch our business. So always do not hesitate to ask for help. Just because you've done it doesn't mean that you're already perfect in that field. So always ask questions. Surround yourself with like-minded people, because energy plays a factor. Just like today, we're all here gathered together having this webinar, learning from each other. So it's very, very important to place yourself with like-minded people. And when I say that, even your friends, because trust me, the more successful you are, the more you're going to lose your friends. So you have to choose who you spend time with. And then invest in experts, digital marketers, and social media agency. Trust me, it will make your business a whole lot easier to handle, because at the end of the day, if you're not an expert in anything, you're not able to do that for your business. At the end of the day, you're compromising your business growth by doing everything yourself. Research and take courses in areas you lack for the business to thrive. Like I said, I've done businesses, I've set up businesses, but then again, I struggled in terms of technology, because this is an edtech platform. I was not very familiar. Basically, it's like Chinese for me. So it took me at least like 2 months to understand, what is this term? What does it mean? What is UI? What is UX? How does it work? So trust me, if you feel like, okay, I lack in these things, take a short course. And then you have to have an abundance mentality, right? Most people come with a scarcity mindset, meaning, acha, ye nahi chalega. Acha, okay, I'm giving up. Okay, let's call it a day. Okay, I thought I should open a business and I should open a business and then have another let's say another branch, but then if you have this scarcity mentality, you'll be like, Acha, I'll just stick to one. I'll just stick here. So basically, this is you, this is the world. So you're just sticking here because you have this scarcity mindset. But if you have that abundance mentality, you're gonna get here. It doesn't matter if you see the progress or not, your mind will take you there. Okay. And an aggressive patience mindset, meaning you have to be patient to see the progress, but you're aggressive in making sure that you see it. Sometimes I work 16 hours a day. Sometimes I work 5 hours because I'm like, okay, I managed to reach my goals. So you have to have that aggressive patience mindset. Just because you do not see it doesn't mean it's not happening. And then stick within your business financial budget. Otherwise, you're starting your business already with a loss. Okay, don't open a 10 million company and then you ended up spending 15 million for that when you launch, because that's already a 5 million rupees loss for you. And there's always a backup plan. If things goes worse, there's always a backup plan. If things, gets thrown to your face and you'll be like, okay, this is a dead end for me. It's not. There's always a backup plan. Celebrate your success and own up to your mistakes. Very important. And take this online business experience as a teaching journey, because why? It will teach you about who you are yourself as a person, what are your strengths, weakness, how resilient you are. And every time you feel like giving up, remind yourself why you started it. Remind yourself why I started this in the first place. And the last one is my favorite, have a sense of humor. Because trust me, I have had so many challenges with this ed tech company, and sometimes I feel like crying, but then I make a joke out of it. And then at the end of the day, that sense of humor saves you. So yeah, that's my presentation. I hope everybody enjoyed this short presentation. And if you want to comment, or Ariba, I think she's, yeah.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much, Tanya and Sophia, both of you. It was exceptional. Thank you for your exceptional insights and the expertise. So, and your valuable contributions have truly enriched this webinar and provided our participants with actionable knowledge for their digital marketing journey. We truly appreciate your dedication and your passion for empowering women in the business. And okay, so since this is done, we will now go forward to the Q&A session. All right. And we encourage all the participants to actively participate in this by asking questions towards the end of each session. So we have this dedicated segment for you all to seek clarification and share your thoughts, gain further insights. Your questions are valuable. So please don't hesitate to engage with our speakers. All right. So yes, we'll be taking questions now. So we have a question from Hadika Ansari, and this is for Tanya. According to you, what are the current trends of digital marketing that all kinds of industries follow? Over to you, Tanya.
Okay, great. Can everybody hear me? Thank you for that question. This is something that I'm very interested in, and this is part of my practice. So according to your question, according to you, what are the current trends of digital marketing? The current trends, they are evolving by seconds. There's always a new trend. Of course, we all know there's threads that and seeing how potential it is for them. And for Instagram, A lot of brands are actually in Instagram and TikTok. If you're starting a small business and e-commerce, do try TikTok. A lot of brands are in TikTok, and trust me, the potential there is very big. And because I work for advertising and our big clients, they've all jumped into TikTok. Look into trends for TikTok on a daily basis. There are so many trends and challenges that brands jump into. It's so fun to make. It's so fun to work with influencers or do it yourself. Jump into that. Memes works. Reels on Instagram works really well. 50% of the content that people publish for their brands are reels, so make sure that happens. Stories are very effective, so jump into that and look into trends all the time. Just say, I think, what was the latest trend? There's a lot of dance trends, there's a lot of audio trends. Jump into that. So I hope that answered your question. What's the next question?
Okay, so the other question that we have for you is that now suppose I have a client and he is a photographer. Should I add him as a human element or influencer is a better option?
Okay, I guess that's a question for me. If you have a photographer, because I'm guessing you're selling a product, not a service, and you have retained a photographer, let him do the job as a photographer. Don't make him the face of that. When I talk about a team, I mean in-house team, not photographer that you just retain for projects. So it's better for you to actually invest in an influencer, because the reason why is because your influencers has the influence. That's why they're called influencers. It will not only give you growth for your page, but it will also give your audience brand awareness. So I would suggest influencer, not your photographer.
Right. So the next question is, how can digital marketing boost business growth?
Digital marketing is very obvious, I think, of the purpose of that. I think we also mentioned that in the presentation. It is basically, like I said, social media platforms are for free. That's one advantage, and they actually boost your business. Why is that? Is because people are on social media 24/7, and they don't browse much on Google anymore. By the way, the Gen Zs, their browse source is TikTok and Instagram or YouTube. When they want to buy something, they don't go on Google anymore. They go on Instagram and TikTok. So if I want to buy, say you're selling clothes, and they look into that and your brand pops in, that will obviously give you growth. So make sure you use the right hashtags as well, so your brand is visible. So I think that answers your question.
Yeah. So the next question is, why is staying updated with digital marketing trends crucial in today's competitive landscape?
A lot of digital questions. That's great. Why staying updated with digital marketing trends crucial? Why to be relatable? If you're not relatable, kids nowadays, the Gen Zs and a lot of audience, they have a very short span. If you're not relatable, if you don't connect, if you are not interesting, they will move on. It's so easy to swipe to another brand or swipe to another content. So if you are relatable, they would basically say, okay, this brand is interesting. Um, I want to follow them. So make sure that you follow trends. Is that it? The question?
Yeah. The next question is for the both of you, Sophia and Tanya. What are the key strategies for effective online branding and audience engagement?
Do you want to take this question, Sophie, or should are you here, Sophie? Okay, I think we lost Sophie. So what are the key strategies for effective online branding and audience engagement? I think we already mentioned the online branding, but that's also a separate topic altogether. So take note, Ariba, for online
Alright.
branding, because branding is a very extensive topic. So just to keep it short, again, audience engagement, first of all, like I mentioned, it's community management, respond to them, reply to them. Either it's in the DM or wherever they try to connect with you. Make sure you are aware and you are high alert. Connect with them, reply with them, even if it's an emoji, just reply to them. If they say very nice, you want just give them a thumbs up and it'll make them happy. Another engagement is stories. Please make sure that you utilize all the story stickers on Instagram. um do use that. Make a poll is very effective, because it's very easy and it's this is a no-brainer. So ask me anything is a little it takes your for an audience who doesn't have patience. They don't want to write something if you tell them ask me anything. So poll makes sense and reaction bar also really helps. So that's engagement overall. On the other hand, TikTok reels and all that, that's a high engagement strategy for your brand. So make sure you do that. And for branding, effective online branding, make sure you have a VIS. That is your visual identity system. Make sure that is in place so that you will have a very aesthetically pleasing content, and make sure you have your bio actually tells in one blink your customer knows what you're selling. If it's too long, it's too confusing, they will move on to the next brand. So that's the short answer to your question.
All right, thank you so much for the Q&A session, Tanya, and I'm sure the answers must truly be helpful for the people. So, as we're coming towards the end, I would just like to express my gratitude towards you guys for sharing your expertise and to all of you for joining us today. The knowledge and the insights gained from this webinar will undoubtedly empower you to unlock the true potential of your online business. Thank you once again for being a part of this event. What more I'd like to mention is that all those people who have attended the webinar will be getting a certificate of participation as promised within 1 week via mail. So if it is you don't get it within a week, please feel free to reach out. All right. And apart from that, if there are any questions that are unanswered, they will be answered via the messaging because we are limited on time right now. We are in a time crunch, so they'll be answered. And thank you so much once again, everyone, for attending. And thank you, both the speakers. Bye. Take care, guys.